Does someone want to explain to me why Canada is so expensive?
What's up? What's up? Struggle is up, brother. Oh.
Hey Canada, living paycheck to paycheck doesn't mean that you're bad with money.
Costs seem crazy in Canada, and they are. Groceries, gas, rent, daycare, everything feels insane, but...
I got a bill from Alberta Health Services.
A family of 5 living in Canada can easily spend close to $9,000 a month. And
Top 5 things that cost more than they should in Canada.
Minister, why do you think food cost inflation is twice the level that it is in the United States?
Welcome to Canadian Rant. Let's start with a simple question. When did normal life become this expensive? Across Canada, people are working hard, earning decent incomes, doing everything right. Yet somehow it still doesn't feel like enough. Look at the basics. Your phone plan, premium prices for what often feels like basic service, rent, over $2,500 in some cities, just to have a place to sleep. Groceries, where a simple trip for eggs, milk, and bread suddenly costs far more than expected. Flights, hundreds of dollars just to travel within our own country. Gas, pushing close to $2 a liter. In a nation known for its energy resources. It feels overwhelming, and Canadians everywhere are starting to ask the same question. Why does everything cost so much? Is it global inflation, corporate pricing, supply chains, policy decisions, or is this simply the new normal? Because when the essentials of life become harder to afford, it's not just a financial issue. It becomes a quality of life issue. This isn't about complaining. It's about understanding what's happening to the cost of living in one of the world's most developed countries. Let's get into it.
Someone help me understand how this makes sense, because this is a scam. This is a scam. I just got back from Walmart and I am pissed. Like, no, this does not make sense. Let me show you. I got this. By the way, this is the great value. This is not even the good organic shit. This was $10. $10. Let me show you what I got. Snacks. Literal fucking snacks. Look at the bag. Tortilla, Oreos, Pringles, and soap. That's literally it. Guess how much I paid? Guess how much I paid? $43. $43 for literally snacks. Like, these are literal snacks. I am sorry. Like, if I want to eat good, that's a good 100 something. I would rather eat outside. At this point, this is better to eat outside. What the fuck is this? Oh my god. This just pissed me off. This just ruined my night. Because what do you mean $40 for this?
I got a bill from Alberta Health Services charging me $250 for a no transport fee from EMS. Let me explain. So back in early December, I was feeling really sick. I woke up literally in the middle of the night. All of a sudden, I couldn't freaking breathe properly. It felt like somebody was sitting on my chest. Labored breathing, I was wheezing, I was coughing, and I freaking panicked. So what did me and my husband do? We called the ambulance thinking it was really serious. By the time they came here, they did their vitals, they took my blood pressure, checked my heart rate, and, did all the EMS things. And as they came here and they were asking me questions and all, I started to feel a little bit better. So I didn't feel the need to have to go to the hospital at all. It was just really strange how it happened. And so now it is January 27th, and I got a bill for $250 for it when I didn't get transported. I called Alberta Health Services, and the lady on the phone says, yeah, there's a no transport fee, and if they have to perform any emergency vital thing, you get charged for it. I'm just kind of trying to wrap my head around this whole thing, because could you imagine a different scenario? And it's an actual emergency, and then all of a sudden you are hit with a bill? What? Don't we pay taxes to you guys? How come when I go to the doctors, I don't get a bill? How come when I have to, go to the hospital and get some major test done, I don't get a bill? When I gave birth, I didn't get a bill. In Canada, we are prideful to say that we have free healthcare. Free healthcare, my ass, because you get hit with a surprise bill if you call for an emergency, even if you don't get transported. How does that make any sense? I don't get it.
What's up? What's up? Struggle is up, brother. Oh, Oppression is up, brother. Salami, eggs, and bacon. My name is Dewey. Oh, ooh. Mama say, mama say, mama. Jenkins.
Nigga, what? Hot dogs should not be $12 for a dozen dogs. They really? And the bacon, $7.29, $7.29, $7.29. Yeah, this is retarded. And the West. Prices in Canada are just getting retarded and stupid. $10 for a package of bacon. Schneider's brand. Jeez.
When was the last time you left your house and you spent less than $100? Fucking step out of my house and gone $100. Last time I was able to leave my home safely. 2019, 2018. If you leave the house and don't spend $100, how do you do it? I want your budgeting tips. I need to understand what everyone is doing every time they step out of their house.
High prices aren't just because of greed. Broken infrastructure plays a very big part. When people talk about affordability, they argue about wages, taxes, or subsidies. But they skip the physical system that underpins everything. Canada doesn't move goods effectively anymore. Our rail network is outdated. Our ports are congested. Our east-west corridors don't actually function as a single system. So what happens? Food travels farther than it needs to. Energy gets rerouted through other countries. Goods change hands too many times. Every delay adds costs. Every transfer adds markups. Every bottleneck makes prices worse for everyone and everything. Infrastructure isn't political. It's physical. If you can't move things effectively, nothing stays affordable. This is why logistics matter and why fixing prices starts with fixing systems.
Hey Canada, living paycheck to paycheck doesn't mean that you're bad with money. Many hardworking Canadians are in the same boat. Over 92% actually have reported they're living paycheck to paycheck, so you're not alone with this. In fact, the system is expensive. Every year, inflation adds more to the cost of living, whether it's gas, groceries, rent, or mortgage payments. They keep going up. To survive, many hardworking Canadians are taking on a second job, or if they're getting to the end of their career, they're actually retiring at the poverty level or just slightly above or just slightly below. That's over 90% of Canadians at retirement age are retiring in the poverty line area. Comment plan below if this is you.
Does someone want to explain to me why Canada is so expensive, but it just doesn't even make sense? Like, honestly, it doesn't make sense. So the last few weeks I was back home in Ireland, and I also went to Italy. And well, Ireland is very expensive, but in Italy there was literally the nicest, most gourmet pizza I've ever had in my life. €5. €5 in a restaurant. Here, the food obviously is fucking shit in comparison. You can't even buy a frozen pizza that you put in your oven for $5. What? There's a big groceries attached right to me building, even though it's so expensive, so I sometimes run in to grab a few bits. 2 chicken breast. $15. $15! Like, make it make sense.
When people are like, how do you go days without leaving your house? I'm like, it's expensive outside. Yeah, every time I do leave my house, I spend $500. I can't afford to leave the house more than once a week. It's expensive out there.
A family of 5 living in Canada can easily spend close to $9,000 a month. And this is not even luxury. This is like basic life. Between 2 mortgages, utilities, insurance, property taxes, car payment, groceries, gas, and kids' activities, this money moves like really fast. Our grocery alone are over $2,000. Housing and utilities take the big bite. Transportation, insurance, and basic living cost finishes the rest. So this is a calm month. No vacation, no Christmas, no emergencies. So now pause and think. If you're earning one income income, you're doing a 9 to 5, after taxes, does the math still math? This is why strategy matters. Where you live also matters, and what you earn, and how many income streams you actually have. Canada is beautiful, don't get me wrong, but it is not cheap. So if you're building a life here, you need clarity, not vibes. Comment what your monthly expenses look like this video, and follow for more content like this.
Top 5 things that cost more than they should in Canada. 1. Phone plans. Canada is one of the most expensive countries for mobile data. Public Mobile charges $40 for 20 gigs, while in the UK, you can get the same for just 17 or 25 Canadian dollars. That's literally half the price. 2. Rent. Toronto has surpassed $2,500 a month for a 1-bedroom. That's over 50% of the average Canadian income, which is around $5,000 per month before tax. 3. Groceries. Eggs, $5 a dozen. Milk, almost $4 a liter. In the US, you'll pay about $2 to $3 for both. And compared to the UK, our grocery bills are 40 to 50% higher. 4. Flights. Flying within Canada, a round trip from Vancouver to Toronto can hit over $400 if you don't book months in advance. That's more than it costs to fly between countries in Europe. 5. Gas. Vancouver gas is $1.66 a liter for regular and $1.91 for premium, and we produce the oil. What else feels criminally overpriced in Canada? Tell us in the comments, and follow Maple Life for more no-filter Canadian content.
Minister, why do you think food cost inflation is twice the level that it is in the United States?
Well, I think we've covered this question in the House quite a bit, and we've got a number of conflating situations in Canada, including, as you would note, the tariffs that we've experiencing as a country. But you can yourself. I think you're from the western part of this country. You yourself can speak to
Minister,
some of the cattle farmers who are actually feeling quite despondent.
How do you think tariffs are impacting food inflation?
Look, there are a number of impacting.
Which tariffs specifically?
The focus here is on the things that we can control, as I said in my speech. And
But
there's
I'm asking
no
about
doubt
food
that
inflation
Canadians are feeling the impact of food inflation. But I will tell you what it's not. This is where you're going. It is not, and as many economists have shown,
You're the minister. I'm not
related.
asking what it's not. I'm asking what it is. Why is it twice the United States?
Well, food inflation in Canada is directly related to the number of foods that we must import and to the growing challenges of climate change.
Hi, bitches. Hi. If you're new to my TikTok, my name is Dakota. I'm 22 and I'm currently a first-time mom who is on mat leave and has to return to work shortly. I just finished grocery shopping and I want to show you all what I got for $95 living in northern Canada. I picked up some eggs. The cutest little heart-shaped. These were $10. Or cherry tomatoes, what do we call them? Sippy cups, because he's not drinking water. If anybody has any recommendations on how to get your 10-month-old to drink water, please let me know. Raspberry oranges, these are on sale. These are my favorite. Some sour cream and some salsa. Western family tortillas. A big fat jug of milk. Breakfast egg bites. My son loves these. A pack of bacon. Rest. And 2 packs of chicken legs. I have to tell you guys though, this deal, $6.45, 11 to 12 chicken drumsticks. All of that was $95. Anyway.
Costs seem crazy in Canada, and they are. Groceries, gas, rent, daycare, everything feels insane. But this isn't just inflation. Obviously, it's inflation. I took a deeper look at the data, and there are 3 other structural reasons why the middle class is getting so squeezed, and none of them are going away on their own, and what you can do about it. I'm Brian, CPA, over 15 years in finance. Number 1 issue is asset inflation. In 2000, a home was 4 times the average income. Today, it's 8 times. Income went up 60%. Housing went up 220%. The math is broken. Number 2 would be the productivity flatline versus the US has increased 16%. So the productivity flatline just means productivity of how much economic value we create per hour worked. And Canada produces about $20,000 less per worker than the US. Why is that? A lot of it has to do with self-investing and stopping investing in the tools, technology, and equipment that make workers more efficient. And that's why wages feel so stuck while the average American wages grow. Third one on the list is the oligopoly tax. So for the last 20 years, lack of competition in telecom, groceries has cost the average family thousands of dollars. That's your savings eaten up by monopolies. This all leads to a debt trap. So we borrow to fake it, and Canadian household debt to disposable income is nearly 180%. In the US, it's barely 100%. What can you do about this? What's the solution? You opt out. Since 2000, the S&P 500 total return with dividends reinvested is about 340%. Canadian real estate is up roughly the same. So why not just invest in real estate? Yeah, you can too, but the thing about these tickers are like VFE, VUN, XEQT. One requires a mortgage, taxes, maintenance. The other requires you to buy and hold. I love Canada. I'm not trying to dunk on it. There are real structural issues, however, and I think it's important to start investing. That's why I like making the content that I do and showing people other ways to build wealth over time through opening up a low-cost brokerage, buying and holding these cheap ETFs, use your TFSA, use your RRSP, use the resources and tools at our disposal. And that's what I love teaching people, how to maximize their return at the end of the day. Build wealth anyways. I'm trying something new here. Let me know if this kind of video was interesting for you or not, and please like and follow and let me know in the comments other video ideas you would want me to hit on in the future.
The cost of living isn't just an economic headline. It's something Canadians feel every single day. It shows up in the hesitation before tapping your card, in the apartment listings that seem out of reach, in the grocery total that climbs higher than expected, in the quiet calculations families make at kitchen tables across the country. For many people, the question is no longer, can we save? It has become, can we keep up? Canada has long been seen as a place of opportunity, a country where hard work could build stability, and where each generation could move a little further ahead. But when everyday essentials start stretching household budgets, people naturally begin to wonder where things are heading. This conversation isn't about blame. Complex economies are shaped by global events, national decisions, markets, and changing demand. But one thing is clear: when affordability becomes a widespread concern, it deserves attention. Because strong countries aren't defined only by economic growth. They're defined by whether ordinary people can live with security, dignity, and hope for the future. So now the bigger question becomes, what kind of Canada do we want moving forward? One where opportunity feels within reach, where young people can imagine owning a home, where families don't feel constant financial pressure? Real change often begins with awareness, with people paying attention, asking questions, and participating in conversations that shape the future. If this video resonated with you, share your perspective below. What rising cost has impacted you the most? Groceries, housing, fuel, travel, something else? Your voice adds to a much larger national conversation. If you found this breakdown valuable, press like. It helps this discussion reach more Canadians. And subscribe to Canadian Rant, where real people bring real reactions to the issues affecting everyday life across this country. Canada's story is still being written, and affordability will play a big role in the chapters ahead. Until next time, stay informed, stay resilient, and take care of each other.